Okay, so do you have any question with this class or any specific question with the homework or assignment or anything, just let me know. No? Any question from you guys?
None from me.
Okay. So now if you we go with the chapter 2, it's an element of high quality program. So basically, in order to write a program, you have many ways to code it, right? But you have to follow some very, very basic rule to have the high quality program here. Because so far you have very, very simple program, but later on, if you think about the complicated program, you have a lot of coding, you have to follow the basic rule to have the high quality program. Okay, so basically for this chapter, you have the sum of the very, very specific rule that you have to follow. Now, in this chapter, we will learn about declaring and using variable and constant and performing arithmetic operations, the advantages of modularization and modularizing program, hierarchy chart, and the feature of good program design. Now, the first one, you have to understand the process of declaring and using variable and constant. So far, you know that so far you have some very, very simple program. Let me open some of the, it is in module number 1. Okay, because this program. Okay. Okay. Now, the thing about this program, it's very, very simple program here, right? And then let me open. Now we think about this one here. If you look on this program, let's tell me about this program, very simple program. How many variables we have here in this program? How many variables you have for this program?
2.
What are they?
Revenue and balls.
Yeah, they are the variable, right? So here's the thing about the variable. The first thing you have the variable. Variable is the name memory slot. Right? The name memory slot. What that means? So whenever you look on this program here, actually you have the 2 variables, and one of them, they reserve one slot in the memory with the name is born here. Right? With the name is born. And the second one, they reserve another slot in the memory. Its name is revenue. Sorry, yeah, right. So the first thing about the variable, you should understand that the variables, they are named memory slot here, right? So basically, whenever you use a variable, they reserve one slot in the memory, and it's the name of that one, and it might be unique in your program here, right? So basically, that's the first thing. The second thing about variable is that it's changeable. It's changeable. That's why it's named the variable, right? Variable, that means changeable here. So think about when you run the program. The first time, if you put the number 10 in here, and you figure out the revenue is the 50, you got the 50 here, right? But later on, if you run one more time, if you put the number 15 here, then you will override the 15 here, and the revenue will be 75, right? Okay, so the 2 basic thing about the variable you should know. The first thing is that each variable, they reserve a name memory slot here in the memory. The second thing is the variable which is changeable by time, right? And whenever you have the new variable, it will override the old variable. Make sense? Okay, the same when you run with the Python also. I don't know where my Python program is, why it not show up in. Very confusing this one. Okay, the second one is the same. You can see the same program here when I write in the Python, right? So we have the two variable here. The first one is the ball, and the second one the revenue, and it follows the same. Whenever you run the program, right? Whenever you run the program, you have the value here, and the number you have the 10, right? You can see the revenue is the 15, but again, if you run one more time, now if you enter the 15 here, it will override the old value and the new value here the same. Okay, and then you do the same when you run the Python, run the Raptor also. You have the number 10 here, you have 50, and you can see on the left here, you have the number 10 assigned to the variable named ball, and after the calculation, you have the number 50 assigned to the variable the revenue here, and that's why you print it out the 50. Okay, so that's the thing about the variable. Something I want to mention about the variable here. Okay. Now, basically for every program, before you using variable, you have to declare them. So basically for other program like this, Java or C++, before you use the variable, you have to declare them. But the Python is exceptional, right? So you see in my program here, I can directly use them before even without using the declaration. But you have to follow the basic rule. Basically, for every other program here, before you use the variable, you should declare them. So what is declare? Declare, that means you have identified what is the format of the variable here, right? What is the type variable? Some of them in the integer format, some of them in the floating point format, some of them in string format, and some of them in character format, right? That's why you should follow the basic rule when you work with the program. Right? When you work program here, the first thing you should declare. So what is the purpose of the declaration here? The first thing you have to understand the data type. Basically, you can declare here what value can be held in the item. Right? So basically, when you work with the other program here, think about when you work with the other program, when you declare integer here, and think about the number 4 here, right? When you declare the ball variable here in the integer format, it only holds the number format in the whole number. That means you have to put number 2, number 3, number 5, but you have no way to put in 2.5 or 2.99. Right? So the first thing you have to understand what value can be held by the item, right? And how the item is stored in the memory. That's also very important. So because the thing is that when you declare the integer here, normally you have, think about this one, you have 1 byte in the memory. Right? But when you declare the floating here, when you declare the floating point, right, you have a floating point. So basically, it's not the same. It might be the 2 bytes. Right? So that's the first thing here. You have to understand what value can be held with the item. The second one is that how item is stored in memory, because each format they hold the different size in the memory. I think about integer, you might have 1 byte, but when you work with the floating point, you might have the 2 byte here. And also, when you understand the type variable is very important. You understand that what operation can be performed with item. So basically, if you declare integer or floating point, you can do anything arithmetic operation, right? You can divide them, you can multiply them, you add them, subtract them, and so on here. But if you declare the variable in the string format here, in the string format, you cannot do that, right? You cannot multiply two strings together, or you cannot subtract things them together, right? Makes sense. So okay, so the thing that when you understand the data type, you have to know that what value can be held by the item. Now think about the program. Both absolutely must be integer, right? It cannot be 2.99 ball or 2.5. It must be the whole number here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Makes sense? Also, how items stored in the memory is not the same because integer and floating point and string format, they have the different size in the memory. Right? They are not the same. Also, when you understand about the data type, you can understand what operation you can perform in the item. Make sense? Okay. Okay. So basically, all programming language support two major categories here. The first one is numeric. Numeric is the concept of number that can be used in math, in arithmetic operation. Right? The second thing is string. It's anything is not used in math. So we think about I declare the string here and I put my name here. And I put everything under the double profile future appeal. Right? That is string. That is string here, right? Because it includes every character here, HIEU here, right? So basically, you have the two major data types. The first one is numeric, everything but the number, and you can do anything with arithmetic operation. And the second thing is string. You cannot use the arithmetic operation for string number here, right? So that's the first thing about understanding the data type. Right? The second thing about the program is that now the second thing about what is it? The first thing about variable, right? Yes. The second thing about the constant here. So if you look on this program, you can see. If you look on this program, you can see what is number 5 here. What's your guess? What's your guess? What's the number 5? Where it come from? Where it come from? Number 5. And what is why you have the number 5? What do you think about this program? Yes, make your guess.
It's used to change the value of balls to.
So you can guess, right? You can guess number 5 here is the price of each ball, right? Because the ball here is the number of ball he sell, and for each ball he times by 5. That's why you have revenue with the ball times 5 here, right? So you can think about this program here. Number 5 here is constant. Constant. What is it? Constant. Constant. That means the value never ever change during the program, right? It's always stays the same. That is constant here. So if you look on this program, number 5 here, you know for sure it is the price for each ball here, and it never ever change, right? And that's why it's a constant here. And the same when you look into the Python here also, I have number 5 here. It is constant. It is constant, and this is very simple program. So we can get it. You can get it for sure that here you can. If you look on the program, you can get it. Number 5 here, it is a price for each ball, right? But you see, if you have a huge program and if you use a number here, it's sometimes very hard for you to follow it. So you should follow the basic with the rule here. You should follow the basic with the rule, even with the constant. Even with constant, you should declare. Right? So I can modify my program here. I can modify my program. I have interrupter. I don't know how to modify. Oh, yeah, interrupter also I can do it. So normally for constant, you put everything in the uppercase. Right? So I put the number price here. Right? I put the number 5. Right? And for this program, I modify instead of 5, I put price. So you see, if we look on this program, the first thing I declare, I assign the value of phi to the price here, and it's a constant because normally for the constant, you put everything in the uppercase. And you see price here number 5, and number 5 here again, it never ever change during the program. It's always number 5, right? So even that when you run the program here, you run the program. See, when I run program, right? The number of ball might change, the number of ball might change, and the revenue might change, but the price here always stay number 5. It's a constant, right? The same when I work with the Python here also. It should be better that I have to define the value of the price. I put it number 5, and later on I put the price. I can do, and it runs the same. It runs the same. I put the number 16. I have 80. Okay, so see, you look at the program here. If you look on the code by code here, you see revenue, you know that the ball time price, right? And you know for sure what is the price. You can go it up at the beginning here. Price here is number 5. So this is a very simple program. You don't see much benefit when you declare the constant, when you using the name constant here. But again, if you think about very complex program, sometimes it's very hard for you to guess what the number 5, where it comes from. Huh? But if you look on this one here, you know for sure that is everything in the uppercase. That is constant. And if you want to know what is the value of the constant, you can go up to the program and you see it's number 5. Right? So that is very, very simple rule, but you should follow in the program later on if you want to do the very, very complicated program. Make sense? Okay. Any question, guys? Okay, so again, you have the 2 type constant. Again, you also have the numeric constant. That is number here, right? This number. The second one is string constant also. String constant, you can think about this one. I can do another program with a string constant. I do Python here. Welcome. Message. Okay, so you can see this program also. I assign the welcome here is a constant in string format. And I assign the structure welcome to the SDEV 120 class, and I just print it out. Right? Okay, that's a very simple program, but you see, when you look on this program, where it come from, what is a welcome? You can see that is a string constant, and that actually is a string with a welcome to SDEV 120 class. Make sense? So basically, constant again, you have the 2 types. The constant, it can be numeric format or it can be string format. Okay. Now, so we mentioned about constant. Now we mentioned about the variable. Right? Again, variable are name, memory, location, and content can be vary or differ over time. I explained it already, right? And so basically, before you using the variable, you should declare it. And declaration is the process that provides data type. Right? The identifier that means variable name. And the next, the optional, it can be an initial value for the variable. Right? So think about if you look on this program here. If you look on this program before, that is a pseudocode. That's why you see you have the declaration here, because this is a program that you get a number from the user and you double it and you print it out what's the number of it. That's all, right? You get the number, double it, you store it into the my answer and you print it out my answer here. But you see, before you use the program, you have to declare, you know for sure, you have 2 variables used in this program. You have the my number and you have my answer. And you see the keyword here in the pseudocode. The keyword here in the pseudocode, you have the num here and num here. Tell you they are in number format. Make sense? It tells you they are in the number format. So you can see for this one, you have the flow chart here, and you have the serial code here. Before each program, you have to do with declaration here. You have to tell what are variable you use in the program and what are the format. Okay? And sometimes we see about this one here. Sometimes you can do with initial value for the program. So think about this program here. I can do it with my program and yeah, later on I display. I had another example. Okay, so to understand the declaration data type, you have the numeric variable. Again, for the variable also, we have the two major categories. The first one, numeric variable, it holds digit, and can perform anything with the mathematical operation. All right. The second one, string variable, it can hold text, not the number. Right? It has text and letter of the alphabet, or it can be the special character such as punctuation mark. But the thing again, normally that is about every other programming language. But the Python is exceptional. Exception here. So basically, for one variable in the Python, at the same time, it can hold the number digit or it can hold the text. It doesn't matter with the Python. Python very flexible. That's why. Right? Basically, for other programming language, when you declare variable with the number format, it cannot hold the text format anymore. But in the Python, you can use whatever you want. Right? Sometimes you can use the whole number, and sometimes you can use with the string format. It doesn't matter. You can check with the Python. You can see. You can check with the Python. You can see it. Right? So when I check with my program here. I run my Python, you can see what happened here. Now I put x equal number 10, right? And I put and I bring down x number 10. That is the whole number here, right? That is stored for the number format here. But at the same time, I can do the same time. I can put it welcome to add that. So we see at the same time, it can store for the number, and it can store for the string formatting. It doesn't matter with the Python. Right? That's why the Python a little bit exception with the other programming language. The first thing is that you do not have to declare variable before using it. That's the first thing. But normally for other programming language, you have to declare it before you use them. The second thing, it is a flexible. Sometimes it can hold. It can store for the number, and sometimes it can store for the string formatting. It doesn't matter. Make sense? Okay, that's something I want to highlight between the Python and other programming language. Later on, if you work with Java, I can see, or C++, you see, you have to declare the variable before using them. And also, when you declare the format of the number format, you cannot use them to store the string format. Okay, so you know that normally before you using the variable, you have to declare them, right? And in the declare, you have the sum of the step here. It can be data type. You have to specify it's a number format or string format, or later on you see it can be specific integer format or floating point format here. The first thing is the data type. The second one is the identifier. Identifier is in the variable name. That's all. That's the variable name. Okay, so normally for identifier, programmers should choose a reasonable and descriptive name for the variable. Now think about this one. If you look on this program, I can get it here. I change it to ice. Get into X here. Y here. Okay. Now, if you look at this program, what do you think? It runnable or not? It work or not? It work or not? What do you think? It work or not? That's a simple question here. If you look on this program, tell me it work or not? Why? Why it not work? Hello? I have the question for you guys online also. If you look on this program, what do you think? This program work or not? Answer my question. It work or not? It's sick of you online here, but
I think it works. Right?
it work or not?
I think so.
Why? Why you think?
Well, I don't know. Price gets assigned 5. Oh wait. Yeah, it works because then you get input for X. You multiply X and 5 and put it in Y, and then it yeah, I think, wouldn't that work?
Yeah, absolutely it work. It work. I can run it here, right? I can run it here. It work. Right? Because here you got the value and you store in the variable name X, right? Think about if I store number 15 here. Right? And Y you take it out. X is 15, right? Time price by 5. And that's why you have 75. It works. It works also. And even I modify my Python also. It works, right? So we think about this one here. I put X here. And I put Y here equals to X. And I just print it out X here. I'm sorry, Y. Right? And also it works. It can. And it works. It works, right? And the process you should understand the process of the program here. If you look on the router, right? What happened? What happened with this program here? Whenever you have enter number 4, so for today, if the end user enter number 10, you have the slot in the memory with the name X and you store the value of 10 here. Right? Now we move to this one. You assign the value Y to the X time price. So what is it? Program will reference to the slot X, take it out the number 10 and time with the price. What's the price? You have the constant here, number 5, right? That's why you have the number 50 here, and you store the value of 50 in the memory slot Y here. And later on, you take it out and bring it down. It works, right? It works. But the thing here, if you look on the X and Y here, it's very hard for you to follow the program, right? You don't. So it's very easy program. That's why you may guess it. But again, if you think about complicated program, you have to use a meaningful variable name. Otherwise, very hard for you to follow, right? What is the X? Where it come from? What's the Y? Where it come from? So see, it's way better for you if when you're using the meaningful variable name, you change this one here. Instead of X, you change it to the ball here. Right? You change it to the ball. And this one, instead of Y, you change it to the red. First. Okay, so think about this one. You are the one who follows the program. Right? And you see, enter the number ball for so today, you store it in the ball here. Make way more sense when you store it X or Y or whatever. Right? That's why the first step is very basic rule here. When you do the program, even the simple program, always using the meaningful variable name. Make sense? Okay. Okay, that's the first rule, very simple rule. That's why you see, you should choose the reasonable and descriptive name for variable. And programming language have some rule when you for creating the identifier. The most language allows the letter and digit. You can use a combination. You can use a combination of the letter and digit. And some language allows the hyphen and reserved keyword you cannot use. So think about in the Python here. In the Python, you have some of the keyword here. int or print here, you cannot use them as a variable name or input here. Input here. See they highlight here. You cannot use them for variable name. Make sense? Okay? That is some very basic rule when you work with the variable here. And again, variable name are case sensitive. That's what it. What it means, that's one here. Which I modify my program, right? If I modify my so what happens if I change it to this one? What do you think? It work or not?
It would not work.
It not work. And it absolutely is it. Before I execute or debug it, it tells me something wrong. Right? Because it's case sensitive. If you look at this program here, basically what is it? You have one variable with the name, with the slot here, the name is ball. And you have another variable with the name is ball. They are is on different memory slot. They are not the same. So what happened? See, if I enter the number 10 here, program, look at revenue, you assign the value of ball. Where is it? Where's the ball? I don't know. No value here, right? I don't know. That's why you have the syntax error for this one. You have to, when we see key program, you can see. When we see new program, you can see what's going wrong. Number 10. And to try to locate for the ball as here, but have no value on that. Right? That's why you have syntax error for this one. That's why variables, they are case sensitive. Right? Capital V and the lowercase v is not the same. So pay attention on that one. And sometimes you make a very common mistake is that inconsistent variable name. And you can see it in the debugging exercise. You see some of you mistake that some of them they are in uppercase and some of them they are in lowercase, and they are not the same. Make sense? And you can do the same with Raptor here also. If I change it to XPC, things that Raptor, they are not. Let's see. And yeah, the same. The value X here not found because capital X here is not the same. It's a ball, sorry, it's a ball. Even when I change it to the ball, see what happens. When you run it, you have the syntax error. Oh, let's see why. Maybe it's after the setting. That's something you have to notify about the Raptor. It's not really case sensitive here in the Raptor. That's why the Raptor is not the real programming language. It's only the simulation with the flow chart, right? But again, if you work with the real programming language, Python or Java or whatever it is a case sensitive, right? That's why you have to pay attention for that. Okay, and when you use a variable name, you have to follow the sum rule. You must use by the one word only. One word only, cannot two word. The thing about you can check. You see think about this one here. Selling more. A so board. You see, you cannot use this one. You cannot use this by the two word here. So basically, if you want to use it, you can use a underscore or whatever hyphen here. You can connect them together, right? So this one is to work, but again, remember that whenever you declare the variable or use the variable, it must be one word, and it must start with the letter. You cannot use start with the number. Right? Start this with the letter here. And again, you should have some appropriate meaning for that one. Right? It's very easy for you to follow up the program. Okay, so in the process of declaration, you see, for this program here, before you work with the program, you have to, for sure, you know that you have two variables. That's why you have to declare a variable here. And remember that the format here. Whenever we see the format in the pseudocode or look at the num here, that means is a number format. Huh? Okay, and you have the sum of variable name convention. They have many convention here. But again, if you follow a convention, you have to consistent with your choice. Right? If you work with the camel casing here, normally camel casing they have the hump in the middle here. Our wedge here, you see, you have the capital. Is this one. Right? But again, if you follow the camel casing here, you should consistent with your choice here. Right? So every other variable you have to follow the same rule here. Okay, now you know that before you work with program, you have to know for sure how many variables you have to use, right? And you have to declare them. Now my question here, how can you know how many variables you use? How can you know how many variables you use? And what are they? If you look at this program here, you know for sure you have the two variables, right? And you need to use the two variables. But from where and how can you figure it out? You have to use the two variables.
You can look at the declaration section, maybe.
Yeah. So basically, for every program, you have the three major elements: input, processing, and output here. Right? So again, the output is the first thing you have to think about. This program here actually you need to figure out a number, a double of a number. Right? That is the output. Right? So you should know for sure that in order to figure out the double of a number, you need to get one number. Right? And you do the calculation by multiply by 2, and you take it out the number here. So basically, in order to figure it out, what are the variables you need to use? You have to stick to the output and input here. What are the expected output? Right? And from the expected output, you need to know what is input you need to have the expected output. Make sense? So basically, that is in the process of understanding problem and in the planning logic. You need to figure out what are the expected output, and if you need the expected output, what are the input you need to. Make the same example here. If I want to make 5 cookies, right? That are the expected output, 5 crunchy cookies. So from the 5 crunchy cookies, I have to figure out what are the input I need. I need the flour, how many flour I need, right? How many milk, how many eggs. The same as this programming. I need a number, double number. That is my expected output, right? And from that one, objectivity, I need input for a number, right? Okay, now we work with we have assigning value to variable. So in this program here, you have the process assigning value to variable. You see, if you translate this program here, what happened? You have constant name price here. And it stores number 5. It always stays the same. And you have one variable slot with the ball here. You get it from end user. Sometimes it can be 10, sometimes it can be 15 or 20, and also you get it randomly. One slot is random. So when you run program, what happens? You have one slot, you assign value number 5 here to the slot price. Now you have the option here. Ask user how many balls, and if he enters the number 10, it will store the value number 10 into the variable name ball in the memory. Make sense? Now this one is an assignment. This is an assignment operation here. So what happened when assignment operation? You assign a value on the right to the variable on the left here. So what happened with this one? What happened with this program here? You can see. Actually, for this operation, it worked everything from the right first. It worked everything from the right first. So what happened? It looked it up for the ball here, right? It looked it up for the ball, and it take it out. It take it out the value from reference in the memory, right? So we take it out number 10 here, and again, what's the price? It reference to the select memory in the memory here, and take it out number 5 and do operation. You have 50 here, right? You know that after this operation, you have number 50. That when you've done everything on the right, right? So when you've done everything on the right, you take that value and you store that value to the variable on the left here. That's why what happened here. After this operation, you have number 50 here. Store it into the variable revenue. Make sense? Okay. And later on here, you just take it out. What's the revenue? You reference to the slot with the name revenue and take it out the value of 50. Okay. That is the assignment operation. So remember about the rule, very simple rule here. When you do with the assignment operation, you have to do everything calculation operation on the right first. When you have the value on the right, you take that value, you assign it to the variable name on the left. Make sense? Okay, that's the thing you have to follow the rule here. Right? You have to follow the rule here. That's why you see, okay, about what happened about this program here. It do the same, right? It take it out value of my number, right? Double it and assign it to the my answer. That's all. That's the same program here, right? That's quite the same. Okay? So about the assignment operator, you have to use the equal sign here. Equal, right? Equal sign here. That's the first thing. The second thing is that you have the two operands, one on each side here. The second thing here, remember, always operate from the right to left. Always operate from the right to left. You have to do everything on the right first. Figure it out what is the value, assign this value to the variable on the left. Make sense? So when you work with the adapter also, when you work with the adapter, you can see what happens when you work with the adapter here, when you double click this one. Right? So basically, you have to do everything. You can think about this one is on the right here. This one on the right, right? And you assign this one on the right to the value on the left here. Right? So order, you have to follow the order when you work the adapter. Right? You assign the value on the left to the operation on the right here. Make sense? And the same with the Python here also. The same when you work with the Python. Right? See, you have to do everything on the right, and you assign value to the revenue on the left. Okay. Any question about the assignment here? So again, every program you have the three basic elements: input, right? Calculation, operation, processing, and the output. So you can see you can think about the assignment here is a process in the processing. Okay, so the first step you have to declare the variable, but sometimes you can use combination of declare variable and also you can initializing the value to the variable here, right? So for this step here, if you stop this one, you just declare with the variable memory, its name is a George salary here, right? So basically, if you stop, if you do not have this one, right? So basically, you have memory slot here with the name George salary. But you can use a combination with the initialize the variable value also. So you see this is declaration, and at the beginning you can have the value of 14.55. You put it in the variable name here, right? You can use that at the beginning when you declare if you want, or you can assign it later. It totally is up to you. You can use totally. So basically, this one is the same here. This one, the process here quite the same. If you can do this one. Same. Can do the same. Or is it? Put it. It's quite the same. It's the same thing, right? So see, Z is declaration and Z is assignment. Right? Make sense? Okay. Now, garbage. Garbage is a variable unknown value. That's the sum of the unknown value. Later on, we have the sum. Example, we have the garbage here. Again, just remember the basic rule here for mostly for every programming language, the variable must be declared before they are in use in the program. But again, Python is exception, right? You do not have to do it, but should be better when you understand the logic when you work with other programming language. Name constant, that's what I explained to you, right? Name constant, it's a similar to variable, right? But it can be assigned to value only once. That's why constant. Always stay the same, right? So if you come back to my program, you can see what happened here. That is name constant. That is name constant here. Price, always number 5. Whatever it is. But you see, ball and revenue, they are changeable at the end of here. Is that okay? So that is the name constant. Now, what's the name constant here? Yeah, can be assigned a value only once and should assign the useful name to that value that never be changed during the program execution here, right? So when you have unnamed constant, sometimes they call it a magic number. What's a magic number? Jumping number that mean when you follow up the coding, you have no idea what it is. Right? Think about this one here. If you look on this program, right? If you look on this program here, right? It is very complicated program. You see where it come from, the 0.06, where it come from. It's very hard for you to guess, or you take time to guess here. Right? But see, you can change this one, right? You can use the same here. Tax amount, price, time, sale, tax amount. So what is the sale amount? You know for sure. Everything here is uppercase. It's a constant name, right? And actually, for this process here at the beginning, you have to put this sale tax amount equal to 0.06. Make sense? Okay, the same with this one here. The same with it, same with my Python program. So see, when you look on this one, you know this is a constant name. And what is the value of price? You can go up to my program and you can see that is number 5. Make sense? Okay, so try to avoid using the magic number or unnamed constant. Instead of that, you should define a constant name and the price here. Put this number, a value at the beginning of the program. And normally for any constant, you should use everything in the uppercase. It should be very easy for you to follow up. You know for sure that is constant. And if you want to know the value of constant, you can go back. You can go to the beginning of the program and you know that. Right? And of course, if you change this program, it works the same. If you change program, it works the same. Right? And this is pricing program, so we can guess. Right here is the price for each one. But again, if you think about complicated program, it's very hard for you to guess it and take time for you to do the debugging and troubleshooting. Make sense? So take a short break for 5 minutes and we come back. Okay, so let's go on. Now, learn about something about performing arithmetic operation. Some of the standard arithmetic operation can have addition, subtraction, or multiplication and division, and some other thing here. You can see if you look into the Python here, you can see I have I equal to 10, right? I can do addition here. Plus 2. Right? Here, 12, right? Or I can have I equal to I minus 5. I have number 7 here, right? Or that is have division also. Divide by 2, that is random division here. So we have I equal to 5. Again, I have 4. That is a time multiplication here. See, when I have the multiplication, you use this one. So I have the 40 here, right? And so on. Or you can have x, think about this simple here. I have number 4 and exponent here. We have x 2. Sorry, this one. Right, so we have the exponent here. I just have the exponent when have double star here, the exponent. And some other thing you can see about x divided by 3. What do you have? You have number 5 here. X divided by 3, you have like number 5 because when you use this one here, that means you only take the integer part of it. Right? So we want to have the 16 you divide by 5. Sorry, you divide by 3, you have 5. You have a 5.3333 and so on. But when you use this arithmetic, you only take out the number about the integer part of it. Right? Make sense? Or also you have the exponent. Sorry, you have the modular also. Modular will return about the remainder from the division. Think about when you divide pi, right? I divide pi by 2 here. You have remainder 1. Shoot number 1. Press check. Yes, number 1. Right? Because you have the remainder number 1. Okay, so basically for the sum of very basic operation, you can have the plus. You can have the plus here. Right. So, now can you see my screen?
No, we can't see it.
No, so why don't you see? Right. Come on. Can you see my screen now?
No.
No, not yet.
Okay. So I think I have to stop it. Okay, let me try to log in again to see what went on. So